Hiya, folks! Welcome to another episode of Magic Key Chats. To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, what's happening? I'm actually very excited for today's topic of conversation. Ryan, I feel like you want to kick this off though.
Yes, definitely. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Disney snacks, and I got a little bit of a bone to pick today. So I want to even see. So Amanda and we kind of talked about this during the week, and I gave you a little bit of a hint to see if you can tell what I was disgruntled about. So do you have any idea?
I kind of have a guess because I feel like you sent me a reel about some like new snack that they had.
No, I don't think so. Because honestly, I think I've sent you so many reels, I don't even know which one I'm talking about at this point.
Okay, so this is gonna get this discussion might get heated because if if I'm correct, you have an issue with beignets.
It is the beignets. Do you know?
That's my favorite snack.
It's my favorite snack too, and this is why I'm so disgruntled about this.
Okay, I'm almost like don't want to have this conversation because what if you say something that makes me feel like I can no longer have a Mickey Mouse beignet. Will your rant on this particular snack make me not want to have Mickey Mouse beignets?
I just think this particular one because this I mean you can avoid it.
So we're talking flavored.
Yes, it's a flavor.
Okay, before we really dive into it, let's talk a little bit about the snack itself and snacks in general. Um, and I think if you're not a snack person, then this might not be the episode for you, but it might still be entertaining. But also, who isn't a snack person, especially who isn't a Disneyland snack person? Um, I have friends who are foodies, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really a foodie. I go, but I'm a Disney park foodie, mainly with the snacks. Like, I just like the snacks. Like, I have my list of go to snacks. Like when I go, there's like the everyday snacks that you have. Like you have to have this every time you go, and then there are the like seasonal snacks that you just have to try or like the new snack you're like, "Oh, let me try something different." But I think once you get in a groove of like these are like my typical snacks, like some people are churro people. Ryan, aren't you a churro person? Are you a
Oh,
churro
I'm a
person?
cherry person. I'm definitely a beignet person too. This is why I'm so fired up about this.
I'm not, I could like I could take it or leave it with a churro, but the Mickey Mouse beignets are my favorite snack at Disneyland. Well, okay, I can't say favorite snack. They are one of my mandatory visit snacks. 'Cause I can't pick one. They're like like if I get to the park really early, I'm like, "What am I having for breakfast?" Usually Mickey Mouse beignet. So, if you've never had a beignet, anyone, and you don't know what we're talking about, a beignet is like a almost like a fried donut with powdered sugar all over it, and it's a New Orleans classic, and I've had beignets in New Orleans, and that's why I'm not like, "Oh, eh," with the Mickey Mouse beignets because they are just as good. Uh
Have you gotten the ones from the Beignets Express or just the Mickey Mouse beignets?
I've tried them. They're okay, but they don't compare
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse ones. Yeah, so much better. I
because they have Disneyland magic pixie dust in them. I'm convinced. Like, that's what's in that powdered sugar.
So I am, that beignets, I get them every time. Every time I go to the park, it's a routine. Get my Earl sandwich, flavor of the week, whichever one I decide to get, and then I go right to Disneyland. I get a beignet. So to go on, why I'm so frustrated is that I went and did the mobile food order, not realizing there's a flavor of the time of year because it had just passed Christmas time. And I order a 6-pack of beignets. I was with some friends for the DVC After Dark night. I get the pack of beignets. I take my first bite into it. And I'm like, something tastes funny. And I'm looking down at it. It's purple.
Oh, no.
Like, okay, interesting. Like, not really enjoying it too much. And mind you, this was like my friend's first experience with beignets too. And I had to give this to them. And I come to find out it's grape flavored beignets.
Ew, grape flavored anything that's not wine is not something I like.
It ta- do you remember the Kool-Aid, like the little container you get, the grape Kool-Aid, you mix it with the water.
Who would get grape Kool-Aid, first of all? We were cherry flavored Kool-Aid kids.
Cherry flavored 100%. It tastes like they coated the beignet in grape Kool-Aid sugar powder. And it just Oh, it ruined it.
What you're describing is disgusting.
I and I had to eat the rest of the 6.
Is this gonna turn into snacks you shouldn't try at Disneyland instead of snacks you should try at Disneyland?
It may.
I'm sorry to say this. This is not a Disneyland bad. This is a Ryan bad. Even though it's slightly a Disneyland bad because, like, they really shouldn't have those.
I know you are more the passionate like one on topics, but right now like this that burnt my soul because I love beignets and it ruined my routine. It didn't ruin the rest of my day.
Did it burn your soul because you accidentally ordered the wrong thing? Or did it burn your soul because you just think it's unholy?
It's unholy. It's great. Like I said, it's grape Kool-Aid coated.
That's a weird time to have a seasonal flavor.
Yeah,
Did you go back on the app and see, like, if it was, like, what it was labeled as?
it just grape flavored beignet, and that was its pitch for that time of year because it was post the candy cane beignets, which number one. Um, and then yeah, I mean I didn't even realize I had a flavor time of year, so I didn't double check it. So yes, my bad for not really looking at my order.
Okay, everyone, here's your takeaway from today's episode. Your takeaway is make sure you read before you order.
Yes, don't get hubris thinking you know how to use the app so well, and then select the wrong thing, and then you're stuck with grape.
The second you said I went to mobile order, I started laughing inside my head because I was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna end well."
And I thought I was like ahead of the group because that line that day, it's been really busy lately. And that line that day was, especially with all the construction going on, was wrapped around everywhere. So I was like, look at me, I'm, taking advantage of the app finally. Mobile ordered, didn't have to wait more than maybe 10, 15 minutes for great beignets. So
Do you not usually do you not usually mobile order the beignets anyway?
no,
You wait in line
yeah, I don't mind wait. I mean,
every time?
for the most part, yeah. I mean, this last week I went, I was 10 minutes. I actually think it was longer for the mobile order.
One time I've ever waited in line for Mickey Mouse beignets, like, probably the first time I ever got it, and then once I realized you can mobile order them, but I don't think I've ever been there when the line wasn't long anyway. Like, one time I'm in line waiting, and I was like, "Why am I not?" I placed the mobile order while I was in line because it made more sense than waiting in line because it was so long.
I don't think I've ever had it where the line was extremely long, except for the one time I did mobile order. But yes, that is that is my disgruntled rant on Great Beignet. You're looking up the Great Beignet.
Oh, and it's called Grape Beignet. It's not even called something different, and it's grape flavor. Why would they do this? Okay, this is really gonna get us into a topic. Now I'm I wouldn't say I'm heated, but
You're not heated because you didn't have to endure it.
I never would have ordered grape flavored beignets, first of all, okay?
I ordered 6 to share with my friends.
Not something I would ever do. I don't order grape flavored things.
No, no.
Not even, "Oh, be adventurous and try it." I'm like, "No, I don't like it. I already know."
Yeah, and it wasn't even like it didn't even taste like grape. That's why, like I said, when I looked at it and like I took that first bite, it tasted like grape Kool-Aid, which really doesn't taste like grape to me.
Like grape flavor, not grapes.
Yeah, kind of like people who say like they like bananas, but they don't like banana flavor things. Like I notice the difference, but that's just
Well, if we're talking like artificial runts banana flavor or like Laffy Taffy banana flavor, I'm game. But I'm not like a big fan of bananas or like the flavor, like banana nut. Like, I'll have banana nut stuff sometimes because it's okay. But like the taste of actual real bananas, for me. But artificial flavored banana, let's go. Banana Laffy Taffy, that's, that's my jam. Grape Laffy Taffy, not my jam.
mm, nope. What is the pink one? Is that the strawberry?
Did you almost think about it,
I,
but yet you just went off about how disgusting grape flavored beignets are.
because it doesn't taste like grape Kool-Aid. At least the grape Laffy Taffy at least does not taste it.
Grape Laffy Taffy doesn't taste like grape flavored Kool-Aid. It's all artificial grape flavor. All the artificial flavors taste the same.
You're not choking on the powdered sugar disgustingness that is grape Kool-Aid when you're expecting to enjoy the beautiful bliss of a Mickey beignet. Oh,
Have you tried any other of other than, okay, I know you've tried the candy cane ones because I made you try them because I said they were the best things ever. Have you ever tried any other of the beignet flavors that they've had throughout the years?
Not the not the Disneyland ones, no. And I did go do the Beignets Express. I tried a couple of theirs.
Oh, they have different ones too?
Yeah, they got like kind of like what at least what I've noticed when I moved to California, they do like a lot of crazy stuff. So they have like fruity pebbles. They have like a lot of cereal coated stuff. And to me, it's just too much.
I like Fruity Pebbles, but not on my beignet.
They did have a Bananas Foster one though that was pretty bomb. I'll say that.
Okay, Banana Fosters make sense with beignets, just with the texture
Yeah.
of, like, all the things that those 2 separate things are, that makes sense, but
Yeah.
Fruity Pebbles, put that on some milk.
Yeah. Where I see Disneyland kind of I don't want to say missing the mark, but kind of not doing what they could do with the beignets, which Disney World does, is if you go to the French Quarter, they have a like a
Wait, Disney World has beignets?
oh, they do.
Where?
Oh, it's at the French Quarter, and it's not just the beignets, but you can get, like, chocolate syrup on it, you can get all sorts of topping like, you customize your beignet with whatever toppings and stuff you want.
They're not Mickey Mouse shaped beignets, they're just beignets.
They are. Oh, they are.
Oh, they are?
They're l like the same thing. Yeah.
I, like, looked for beignets too.
My family, every time we go there, it's you take the little boat ride to the French Quarter, and it's right in the main lobby of the hotel, and it's literally just this little cafe off to the side. And I mean, though, and you buy a pack of three, and then you literally customize the beignets with whatever toppings you want, and that's where I think if Disneyland did that,
I'm torn between that. Why do you like it?
man, you're gonna hit me with that one. Because you like you can do a little bit more with it than just have like the same powdered sugar. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. Like coating my black sweatpants the other day in beignet powdered sugar, sitting watch on the docks. Just that's a classic. But sometimes you think about it. Like I love like when I add like the chocolate drizzle, like nuts, whatever other toppings that they had. It's been I think about 2 years since I've had those there since I didn't go last time. But I think it gives a little bit extra. Like this is where I'm saying it's missing the mark is where you got the beignets express where it has that potential to do that, but you go there and it's all just pre-made. Like you have pre-made options. You can't really like customize your own. Where I think people would like. I mean, there's already a long line when you go to that place, and I think it's just still because it's new and kind of like beignets. They got T-shirts and stuff now, but I think it would open up, especially if they did the Mickey beignets there at Disneyland. You'd be able to sell even more.
I think don't fix what's not broken.
Well, as I say, it's not broken in Disney World for sure.
No, well, okay, listen. Okay, we're getting off track because I would say there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Mickey Mouse beignets in Disneyland, other than every once in a while they try a flavor that's a total mix. Um, like I don't. First of all, I don't know who came up with grape. That's just weird. I will say totally because here's the thing. Okay, this is going to take us into a conversation about churros, maybe.
A little bit, because yeah,
I think when you start to invite in too many options of things, and when you start to invite in many, many choices, you start to dilute quality of what you already have that's good. Because you're starting to spread yourself thin everywhere. But also like you're taking away, a special piece of something. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to have a Disneyland churro," for example, right? Like, can't wait to go and have a Disneyland churro. Well, now you have like 20 million flavors of churros that it's kind of like, oh, overwhelming. And I get it. It's like, what's the new flavor of the season? Like they're trying to sell more merchandise. Because to me, when people invite more options and more choices, I usually it's at a play at trying to sell more.
yeah,
You can argue this topic a million ways, but I just think that when it comes to the snacks, it's especially with the beignets because like a traditional beignet, right? You go to New Orleans, you say I'm gonna go have some beignets. It's your fried French donut, okay, and it's covered in powdered sugar. That's what a beignet is. Disneyland has them in French Quarter area because it goes with the theme of the area, makes perfect sense, and we're gonna make them Mickey Mouse shaped because we're Disneyland. Genius, genius freaking idea, in my opinion. Genius idea that they have these right. And then my favorite are the candy cane flavor beignets because it's crushed up candy cane like peppermint with the powdered sugar. So it's peppermint powdered sugar. And so now the beignet is exactly the same, but it has a little bit of a different flavor. That's holiday makes sense because it's during the Christmas time season. Which, by the way, if I was at the park today, I would not have a candy cane beignet. That doesn't make any sense to me. Not a February, March flavor. Just not. Um, I did try their pumpkin spice one during Halloween. They didn't have it this last year, but the season before, during Halloween season, they had pumpkin spice ones, which were okay. I'm not a pumpkin spice person either. So, yeah, PSL is not my thing. I don't like pumpkin spice. Uh, if done right, it can be okay during that season because you're like, okay, it's the fall season, makes sense. Not bad, not great, which is probably why they didn't do it again. So I think last season they did like these maple flavored ones during that. Okay, cool. Like I don't mind a little bit of like theming, but grape makes zero sense in any world.
Like not even the time of year.
I can't even think of a time of year that grape makes sense.
None. Maybe food. No, not even food and wine festival.
I thought
So
that for a split second, then changed my mind.
in a sense, I think I'm actually agreeing with you because I think they're like the Beignets Express. I think has too much.
Do you normally disagree with me that you had to say that you agree with me this time?
Yes, because I think you like was misunderstanding. Like I'm not saying that in the parks they should do the toppings and the flavor.
Oh, you're talking in general.
Yeah, like at the Beignets Express is they have so many different flavors and stuff that they throw out there. I said they got the fruity pebbles. They'll throw out all these random and crazy stuff. Like the Beignets Express should, to me, should kind of mirror what is at Disney World, the French Quarter. Disneyland keep it with like what you're talking about, the seasonal stuff, the normal beignet, or they throw out the occasional, the peppermint, the pumpkin spice, maple,
Not grape though, not grape.
not the grape. And then at Beignets Express, for like the folks staying at the hotels, because like my dad, my brother, when they stayed there, they went there and it was kind of something like they would hope they were expecting when they got to um Disney, like staying at Disneyland for the first time at a hotel. They went to Beignets Express, and then there's no real way other than the stuff that they have there. Like you can't even like you can get normal beignets, but if you're gonna do that, you might as well just go to the park and go get a beignet there. Where at the Beignet Express, you can. That's where I think they should do it. Is mimic what they have at French Quarter, where they have like not all these crazy stuff. Just you get normal beignets, and then you have like a sidebar with your toppings.
So if they had a sidebar, then that's not extra effort or work on them. It might just be the dynamic of downtown Disney, though.
True. It is, and it's even getting tighter with all the constructions. I think it's going to open up a little bit when they finish all the stuff that they're doing, but I mean, yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with it. But to me, like how I look at it is like from somebody who's going to stay in a hotel, like maybe that's a day you don't want to be in the park, but as a breakfast option, like I'm just going to go run and get some beignets.
Then what's wrong with Fruity Pebble beignets if you're gonna go have them for breakfast?
Well, because that's what you're saying. There's so many options. Like why like if you're going to say like there's too many options out there for beignets, you don't want to like go too crazy just to sell for merch.
In all fairness, that origination came from. I thought you were talking about in the park beignets. First of all, second of all, I still agree with that, regardless of if they're in the park beignets or not. Um, but if you're gonna do some kind of like side topping bar, then like that's fine. But if you're gonna have a bunch of these menu items, and that's just overkill, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like if you looked at the menu that they have there, I mean, there's so many options.
Do you how often have you seen the menu? Like, do you know if it's like like is it? Do you think it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, let's test out these new flavors and see what sticks? I know we've discussed this before, I think slightly, but they test all of like they test the parades at Disneyland before they bring things to Disney World a lot of the time. Do you think that even though it's something completely different, but that there might be testing out different flavors to see, okay, what sticks, what doesn't stick?
No, no, because a lot of those shops in downtown Disney are separate entities, so it's not really operating to figure out like what works here and then what works, over there. Yeah. So I don't think they're doing that. Like to me, I think it's too much trying to run like how California donut shops have their donut. Like if I want a donut with fruity pebbles on it, I could just go get a cheaper donut and wait less in line.
So it's a California thing.
Yeah. Like, and maybe it's just me noticing.
Majority of people who go to Disneyland live there anyway.
Yeah, true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to a hotel, you want to like. I would assume like if you're going to stay at like I heard, oh my god, Pixar Pier, but no, what's it called? Yeah, Pixar Pier, that's the new hotel.
The Pixar Hotel they just opened.
Yeah, the new Pixar hotel.
Have you seen it yet?
I wanted to go check it out the other day.
Didn't it just open like a month ago or something?
Yeah, they're not fully open. I was looking at the prices, like $500 a night starting now, where it's looking some like summertime. It's going to be close to like $1,400 a night. That's insane to me.
I was looking at they just opened the new hotel in Paris, Disneyland Paris. Uh, and I was like, I want to stay in one of those princess suites. Okay, this has to be a whole different conversation.
We're a little side top.
Stay tuned, everyone, because one day we will talk Disneyland hotels. Uh, Disney that would be a fun one because I want to hear a lot of your Disney World because I know that's something you like to do is go to all the different hotels in Disney World areas. That'll be fun. But back to beignets.
Beignets. Yeah.
Because I don't think we can have a snack episode. I think every episode that we talk about a snack, you could dedicate a whole. We've just been talking for 20 minutes about beignets.
I mean, I'd talk all day on beignets.
I could eat beignets all day. Actually, probably not. That'd probably be really like I'd probably get sick.
I mean, to the point, I love beignets so much. I bought the Disney cookbook and a little Mickey Mouse shaped cutter, like cookie cutter, so I can try to make these things at home. Have yet to do it yet, but
I was gonna ask if you'd done it yet.
I had not. I have not.
Do you have confidence in making a good beignet, or you're just like, I'm just gonna try this, but I don't know that it's gonna come out well?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I mean, I used to do work in bakery, make donuts.
I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know a lot of things.
I used to work in culinary before I was my current job, so I did a lot of stuff.
Oh, so you're like, I could easily make a beignet. Okay, I have zero confidence in making a beignet. I like just perfected my gingerbread cookies after like 4 years.
Back to the beignet part. I that's all I'm saying is I think Disneyland is missing the mark with the Beignets Express, and I know, and it's probably because, like I said, they are a separate entity, so they're going to do their own thing. But I think they're trying to act more like a donut shop here, and they're not cheap for a beignet that you're getting out here. And if I want a fried dough with fruity pebbles or Fruit Loops, or I think they had cinnamon toast crunch, I could literally just go down the street to a donut shop here and get a half dozen for the same price. I get a count of 3, and I'll have all the crazy stuff on there. Whereas like here, I would think like I'm at Disneyland, I'm paying to stay at the Disneyland hotel. I would love to go to downtown Disney, get a large Mickey shaped beignet, and then go put whatever the heck I want to put on that beignet, like I can at the French Quarter. And like I mean, there's times where I've been at Disney World, and we will literally just take the day when we go to Disney Springs, no longer downtown Disney. Go to Disney Springs, you can take the boat to the French Quarter, and that's our morning. We go take the boat to the French Quarter, go get our beignets, and then come back to Disney Springs.
Okay, so does this mean like if we had we should have a tally board. Disneyland to Disney World, you're giving Disney World tallies now.
And just the beignets.
For in this topic, they get a tally.
Yeah. Because that's right. Yeah, it's not just like you can get like fruit too. So like strawberries, berries. That's what I did. I was strawberries, blueberries, chocolate drizzle.
Literally just want to eat beignets right now. Stop talking about all the things you could put on a beignet. Like,
I made sure to have had a meal before I did this chat, so I can make sure wouldn't hear my stomach going the entire time. But yes, the classic beignet, the Mickey shaped beignet. That's what I need to ask you is when you ask me that question. The only three flavors I've had at Disneyland.
it's great.
I don't even want to count that a flavor. The only 3 flavors I've had were the normal powdered sugar, the candy cane, which I mean, out of the 3 are obviously my favorite, and then the grape. So I didn't know about pumpkin spice. I didn't know about maple. I didn't even realize they had other flavors until you're mentioning this now.
I didn't really know about the beignets till about like 2 years ago. Anyway, maybe longer. I don't even know how long ago it was, but yeah, I was with some friends, and they were like, "Oh, let's go get Mickey beignets." I'm like, "What?" Um, and so we went and got them. I'm like, these are the most amazing things ever. And I always okay, so let me ask you this. Do you mint julep it when you get the Mickey beignets?
Every now and then. I'm not huge on it. I did get the huckleberry, I think like the huckleberry fin mint julep that they have.
It's not called Huckleberry Finn, it's just called the Huckleberry mint julep.
The huckleberry mint julep. See, I don't get it enough to even know the name of what I.
Because because it's not Huckleberry Finn like the character, it's made from huckleberries, which are an actual kind of berry. Which is which they might have been better off if they made huckleberry beignets than grape beignets.
Yes, 100%. I'm thinking Tom Sawyer Island and Huckleberry.
Is that what you thought?
That is 100% what I thought. I'm like, I thought it was Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer.
That's so great. Hey, by the way, my mind would go there too if I didn't know that huckleberries were a berry.
It's a thing. Time to Google after this. Huckleberry.
So I tried the huckleberry one. I think when they first came out with it seasonally, I had tried it, and it was like I will say that their seasonal mint juleps they're good,
Mm.
but nothing really beats the traditional mint julep in my opinion. But I am a unless okay if it's during the day, always get a mint julep if it's during the day. Also, a lot of powdered sugar, you gotta wash it down with something, right? And Diet Coke just doesn't sound right with a mint julep or with a beignet. And then, but but if it's nighttime and it's a little bit chilly, which usually it is, you get hot chocolate with your beignets. That's the way to go. I don't think I've ever ordered beignets on their own without getting anything to drink.
I'm not too much in the mint juleps. Kind of like, yeah, if it is a really warm day, I've gotten one just kind of as a refresher, but don't really go to my way for it.
That my preference is to have mint julep when I
Hmm. And I think in Disney World, I think they sell it with alcohol. I think that's what kind of I think the first time I had a mint julep, it had alcohol in it, but I could be wrong. I might be in my memory and just thinking.
I feel like you're right because I feel like when I was looking at an app, it was a mint julep with alcohol, but I don't like. Well, actually, I haven't tried it at Disney World with alcohol in it. I've had a mint julep like at a bar.
Yeah. So let me ask you this too. While we're talking about the what is that called? The cafe corner where you get the beignets. I can't even think of what the name is.
Uh, mint julep corner.
Mint julep corner. Okay. So I want to know what your thoughts are on the setup. Like, especially, well, I mean, the construction kind of makes it a little weird now, but the fact that you have to go down the back alley to get to that, like, if you were first time at the park, never not knowing where it is, like, would you even know to go there?
Clearly, I didn't know to go there, and neither did you, and didn't know it existed until someone pointed it out to me. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, because I mean, I know the last year it was in the place where you get the bread bowls, like right above Pirates, and that's where I was used to getting it. And then it actually, I actually think you might have been the one who told me.
That's not the original spot. They would have them there, but they had closed down the mint julep corner because of the construction at one point, and then they reopened it.
Yeah, when they were doing Tiana's. Yeah, while they were doing Tiana's, and I was actually kind of surprised that it's still kind of separate, and it's still like in a weird kitty corner. And unless you go to the bathroom over there, I feel like you're not going to notice it's there.
I mean, yeah, but do you need to notice where everything is? And I'm sure there are a lot of other things that you don't know they're there until they're pointed out to you. You come across them.
True.
I don't think that I have a strong opinion on it. Surprise! I don't have a strong opinion on. It
Shocker.
actually is a shocker because I usually very strong opinions on things that don't matter.
Yeah.
It gets really congested in that area because like the line setup way.
Mhm.
There's only so much you can do in different areas, like in the park. Um, there's always room for improvement, but I think I have this weird thing that like anytime I'm a efficiency aficionado.
Mhm.
um, And I'm always like, how can someone improve? Like, anytime I go to a restaurant or a store, anything, I can instantly like find three things that are lacks of efficiency. Or like, if they just switched this or just did that, and it's a simple fix, like, here's how this would be better. That's how my mind automatically works. So when I go to Disneyland, I attempt to do that, and there are very few things, like, I remember one time being in line at Haunted Mansion thinking, like, "How could they make this line more efficient or, like, go better?" And then I just started to notice how it wasn't how, like, a typical line is, or it's, like, kinda like snakes, where it's, like, it goes around and then you're kind of, like, almost backtracking and then going around, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is a fantastic use of, like, efficiency with space and, like, perspective on, like, line perspective, like, thinking the line's longer, feeling like it's longer than it is. So, anyway, just that's a sidebar, but to go back to how the setup is of Mint Julep, I think there, and it could be that it's like, "Hey, let's have this offering," and we have this little, like, window that you go to, because essentially, it's the same thing as, like, the Cozy Cone corner, like, the Cozy Cone area in Cars Land, where it's literally just like, we sell, you know, mac and cheese cones, or what else do they sell churros too there? I don't know, I only go to the mac and cheese. I want the pretzel.
They have, I think, the churro, the ice cream, the popcorn, the mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah, popcorn. Mac and cheese is the only one I go for. But, yeah, so just like it's like a little stand, and it's like we sell this 1 or 2 items, because that's all they're selling. All they're selling is beignets. They're not selling anything else.
Yeah. See, I liked it. Well, I guess maybe, thinking out of my, because in recency bias with all the construction, because right now they have the train station closed down.
And I'm glad that I haven't been going for a while, because from what you're making it sound like, it wouldn't be enjoyable. This is the month though for heavy construction though, just any time of the year.
Yeah, it's their slow period. But if you don't know, I wonder if they did get your input about the Haunted Mansion, because if you didn't know, that's the big overhaul right now, is they're redoing the entire queue for the Haunted Mansion.
What are they doing?
So I mean, they're improving the line queue, and they're like making it like more of the guard. I think from what I saw of the images, I'll have to text them you later because I think I took a photo of it. Is that they're making it similar to how the garden line queue is at Florida, where it's definitely more open, and like you said, it's not that you got that one line going through the garden, and then the rest of it is you're this tight little box of just Pac-Man maze going back and forth that makes you seem like you're close, but then you're farther away. You're close, and then you go far away again.
I think it's less to do with the setup and more to do with how they're manning and managing, like, the lines. Uh, because I've noticed it with all the rides recently that I wouldn't have noticed it before. Yeah.
Yeah, Pirates is, I mean, the big one right now, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it's like with the garden area that they were redoing that, and then how they manage the ride queue. But we went from beignets to talking about line queues.
So that's why they're doing that. I was wondering what kinda, I thought it was just refurbishment, but I guess they're doing the whole overhaul.
No, yeah, I mean, they're while they're doing the refurbishment, they decided to do the whole line queue. But to back to back to the beignet part though.
Hey, I can tie this back really well. Um, I sometimes, if it's holiday season and I'm waiting in line for Haunted Mansion, I usually get the beignets first and then eat the beignets while I'm in line for Haunted Mansion. Speaking of Haunted Mansion lines, because key tip, guys, snack while you're in line. So if you're about to go in a line somewhere, pick up your snack first, because then you're not wasting so much time, and you get a good snack, and you're busy, and so, like, half the time you're not even thinking you're in line because you're enjoying your beignets. And then the other half, you're just wiping the sugar off of different.
Don't wear black sweatpants when eating beignets. I learned that how. But so and yeah, back to the recency bias. I forget that the train station is also closed down, because what you were saying is when you go to the Haunted Mansion line and you go get the beignet first. Where I would get the beignets was I was in line for the railway right there in the French Quarter, and then I go look, and while I'm waiting for the train to come is when I'm grabbing the beignets, because I'll go get a beignet and then go sit on the train when I go right around the train. So maybe that's why I have such an opinion on it right now, is that I forget the fact that that train station's closed and I haven't ridden the train a lot lately. And that's why it's not so visible to me right there. Cause I mean, it's literally a tight little like hallway and you pretty much go around the other way. So, all right, maybe it isn't a good spot. I just personally liked it better over when it was over by Pirates.
See what I did? See what I did? I changed your opinion without even saying a word.
I just had to think it through a little bit. Had to think it through. But I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, Tiana is. Have you ate there yet?
No, I've almost did. I don't really eat at Disneyland. I snack. They're like, "What's your favorite food?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, they go, "But don't you eat a meal?" And I'm like, "No."
The only only meals I really eat are a sandwich.
I mean, sometimes if I eat at like Carnation Cafe, which I enjoy, or like, like I'll like eat food because their fried pickles are really good. I had them for the first time, like I think the last time I went, I had them for the first time. They're very good. I highly recommend them. This is a food episode. Yeah, Carnation Cafe. Do you know where it is?
Carnation Cafe.
It's a restaurant right next to the candy shop on Main Street.
Oh yeah, with mainly the hot dogs, the different hot dogs.
No.
No, what am I thinking of that?
So you have like the Disney Shop Emporium, right? And then you have like kind of like the opening.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I've only done that.
Yeah, so they have like they have like burgers. They have Walt's chili, which is also very tasty.
That's it. That's what I had.
And in the morning, if you go for breakfast, they have Mickey Mouse waffles.
Whole nother episode of Mickey Mouse.
Guys, you are all in for a treat, literally, because there are so many different conversations about snacks and food.
Is this just gonna turn into a Disney food blog podcast?
If it were up to me. No, it will not. We will balance it out. I'm just saying that where some people might just have a whole hour dedicated to being like, "Hey, here are all the cool snacks you should try." I can dedicate a whole hour to one specific snack.
We kind of did that with the beignets today.
Which are we done talking about? I still have more to say about beignets. Do you have anything more to say about beignets? Because I do.
Yeah. Oh no. What do you got to say?
No, what do you have to say?
I said what I needed to say, and it was essentially the bastardized freaking great beignet that should never come into existence.
So you don't have anything positive to say? Okay, beignet. Okay, too much powdered sugar, not enough.
For beignets, just in general.
Specifically, Disneyland inside the park, Mickey Mouse beignets.
Uh, I don't think I've ever had a time where it wasn't enough. It's just the technique of shaking the bag.
Fun fact. They used to put like twice the amount of sugar, powdered sugar they put in now. Okay. They used to put in twice the amount of that sugar.
I could just see little kid Ryan.
I don't know if it's like exactly twice the amount, but it was a lot more. The only reason I know this is because it's just about perfect the amount that they put in now, in my opinion. Maybe they could add a little bit more just in case you want to get because sometimes it's like kind of lagging. But uh before it used to literally be like half like, I swear to you, you could douse your beignet in powdered sugar, each one of them, and then some, and there was, like, thick layer of powdered sugar still left, which, by the way, I'm not complaining. I'm a fan of powdered sugar, like, let's go. Um, but but it's funny because I remember the first time I noticed and I'm like, "What? There is not as much powdered sugar," and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, "Why am I mad about that? I thought it was too much sugar in the first place." And I think it's on the principle that they like I'm like, "What?" But I will say that I think that, um, if anyone goes and gets Mickey Mouse beignets for the first time, make sure you shake the bag first so that there's powdered sugar evenly all over your Mickey Mouse beignets. Because the last thing you want is like, "Oh, it tastes good," and there's, like, a little powdered sugar on, like, this one side of the ear, and then you have a bag full of powdered sugar that went to waste. But yeah, so I was just curious if you what your opinions were if it was like because some people are like, "That's so much sugar," and some people are like, "I mean, kind of."
I have not had one. Yeah, I've not. I can just imagine little kid Ryan with how much powdered sugar you're talking about. After I'm done with the beignets, just sticking handfuls and just licking sugar and just all over the place.
That's, like, exactly what I was doing. I never let the powdered sugar go to waste, don't worry. In my 30s, didn't let it go to waste.
Do you have a technique though when you shake your beignets in the bag? Like if it's ever even crossed your mind to have a technique, because I do have one from the baking days.
I don't know necessarily other than shaking it. I mean, like,
Like
I
you
mean, I
grab the
gently. No, I don't like crazy shake it because then if you crazy shake it, you're not going to get anything anywhere. So I think I like I gently shake it. Like I don't like I'm not like holding it like a lunch bag and like violently shaking it to get it everywhere. 'Cause I don't think that works. Um, I'm more so like a gentle like shake it side to side kind of thing.
like you just grab the bag.
Yeah, kinda like a shake it like, almost side to side, but, like, just shake it around like, almost, like, shake it in a way where, like, kinda, like, pops them up a little bit so they're kinda, like, rolling. Is that I guess is how I normally do it, and I do it every time I have one. So, like, if I eat one and I'd already shaken the bag, it's not like I'm like, "Okay, next one." It's like, "Okay, it's time for the second one." Gotta shake the bag again. So, yes.
So yeah, okay. So each time you're grabbing one out, you're like reshaking it to make sure that there's more room. Okay.
Well,
So
I mean, we gotta catch whatever sugar's left, so
of course. So folks at home, my technique that I do, it's a white paper bag for if you don't know. At the very top of the bag, I'll like twist it, kind of like you would like a bread bag. So twist it and almost makes it like a little like a bubble, like a dome, and then that's where I'll take both hands and I'll shake it around, and it really tumbles it around, gets all the sugar everywhere. So you're not just if you're going up and down, all the beignet doing inside is up and down.
not,
So
like, super far off then.
if you have like that little pinch topped off, and the sugar's not going to go everywhere, and shaking it around kind of in a circle, then they're going to start tumbling around, getting in all the sugar, and I've had near perfect technique at least every time I've done it.
I kinda do that, but not r I get kind of the same result, but not really. But because I'm not professional baker like you are, sir.
No, 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 no.
Handy one. If you wanna sign up for Ryan's class on beignet making I'm sorry, beignet shaking.
Year for 2 years in the academy on how to shake beignets.
In bio.
You had your final thoughts on the beignet, right? I think so.
I mean, my main point was, what do we think about the powdered sugar situation?
Oh yeah, yeah, that was the powdered sugar. Yeah, I've never had too little powdered sugar. I'll put it that way.
I think
But
once or twice I have, I'll be honest. Not like not in a major way where it feels like, "Oh, there's none on here." But enough to make me feel like this didn't feel like a fully powdered sugared beignet, but it happened, like, once or twice because they put less and less, which makes sense too because it's also because my first instinct the first time I got it, I was like, "This is a waste of powdered sugar. This is not fiscally responsible."
yeah. Oh, it's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking about this too. Is like going walking around the French Quarter and just seeing all the white splotches of just sugar on the ground. So you know where everybody was eating their beignets. Like you'll just go walk by Pirates or you go walk down by the waterfront, and then you just see like each little section has like powdered sugar in like a designated spot. So you could tell where people were eating their beignets, to include me. And then just like every 5 feet or so.
I don't wanna walk around listen, I get bothered when I see popcorn on the floor.
Oh yeah, but I mean, at least with the popcorn, they can come have somebody come over with the little sweeper things that they have. But I was thinking about that. How do they clean up all that powdered sugar, especially in the highly congested areas? It's not like you're taking a hose.
I don't really see powdered sugar at Disneyland, though.
No, I've seen lots of powdered sugar spots.
Do you see it often? I don't think I've ever, like, just, like, because I feel like it's powdered sugar, so it kinda just, like, drifts away because there's not things that you can put on top of it, like chocolate, that leaves things messy.
It's one thing I don't. Oh, I mean, I kind of intentionally look for them because I want to see
Really?
because that's where I was kind of going to go with the location of the mint julep bar is the fact that there's nowhere really to go sit and eat them. Like,
What are you talking about? There's tons of places like, that's the whole point is to go enjoy them somewhere, like, to find a spot and enjoy them. Like, I love overlooking what's it called? The Americas, is that what it's called?
and that's where I go eat them. But like, there's not benches there anymore.
Or in line.
In line, oh,
Yeah, but you could sit on the, like, little stone, or in or you grab them, you go in line, or you go and you grab them, or sometimes I eat them in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle.
you walk them all the way over there.
It's not that far of a walk. It's really not.
Yeah, that's usually where you sure.
You're like, "Oh my gosh, everything's so far in Disneyland." I go, "It's really not."
For someone with knees like mine, I count every step.
Well, well, what I'm saying is it's a preference thing, right? Because you can go sit by Haunted Mansion, and there's like a lot of those like little stone seating areas. But the other thing too is like it's attached to the cafe, so you can sit at the cafe. It's just congested.
You have to walk out and around to get there. You can't like there's that little access gate that the cashier blocks that they allow people like to come from the cafe to exit so they can use the restroom.
Oh, that's new with the remodel then, because that wasn't there before. Before you're already in there.
Yeah, no, like you're blocked off from the like you're in line looking at the cafe, but you're gated off from the cafe. So to go into the cafe, it's not like kind of open seating where you could just go and sit down at the if you really wanted to. Like
But who would really want to do that with a beignet? It's a snack.
somebody out there, I'm sure. I because like think about it, like when we go sit the rivers in America, you kind of have to like go up to sit on like the ledges there if you really want to sit.
I'm like a foot shorter than you, and I'm not complaining about having to go up.
You, but some other folks out there might not be able to sit up there.
I'm not saying that's the place you should sit. I'm just saying it's just there's no listen. Is there open seating if you're gonna go get a churro?
There's park benches.
Yeah, exactly. There's park benches you can sit up.
There's there's like two at the rivers of America right now.
But you don't have to sit at the rivers of America. It was just a suggestion. I was just sharing where I like to enjoy my beignets. If other people would like to enjoy them there too, great. If you want to sit in Main Street or if you want to go all the way to Tomorrowland, I don't know why you would do that. There's plenty of places. And also, why didn't you just sit down and eat the beignets? I only sit down because I have the mint julep with me and I can't eat the beignets and drink the mint julep at the same time while I'm standing and walking. But if I just had the beignets, why I could walk around and eat the beignets.
So this is a Ryan quirk, and maybe there's other people like me. I have to sit when I'm eating. I cannot stand or be walking around, especially with the explosive powder. Anything,
Anything? Anything at all?
anything. I have to be sitting down.
Even popcorn?
Yeah,
So you can't like go get like popcorn from the popcorn stand and walk around the park eating popcorn.
I have to be sitting down,
I would hate to be you.
especially not in the park. I don't. Yeah, I do not want to be bumping into people.
You can't walk around and eat your Dole Whip?
Oh, definitely not with Dole Whip. I got to sit down for that. Sit down and enjoy it. That's why if I get Dole Whip, I go to the tiki room and I sit down.
You've literally been around me when I've had like every snack and we're walking. I never knew that you had a weird thing about like you never judged me and was like, this weird person, she doesn't need to sit down right now.
No, it would probably been the other way around. Like I, have to go sit down when we got the gingerbread cookies. Sat down by the castle, ate the gingerbread cookies.
It was also cold and late, and we had coffee. Because here's the thing: if I have a drink and a snack with me, I have to sit down.
I can drink and do. I can drink and walk.
No, I'm saying if I have a drink and a snack because I'm holding the drink in one hand, so I need the other hand to like.
Yeah, yeah, understood.
I also don't like to drink and eat at the same time.
Yeah, you're one or the other.
So you can't. So you can't get a snack and wait in line.
If it's a slow line, like for example, if I'm going to Haunted Mansion, it's a slow line, and I can sit like on the guardrail. Yeah, I can sit and wait in line to eat. But like if we're actively walking and I gotta like avoid people and the strollers that are gonna knock into me, especially the beignets. Like last thing I want to do is be eating a beignet, take a bite into it, and then just watch the powdered sugar fall on some poor kid's face as I'm walking by them. They're thinking it's like snow in the middle of Disney.
That kid probably would. That kid would probably not mind. Like, ooh, sugar tasting snow. Okay, I don't think the kid is gonna mind. Maybe their parents.
Yeah, the parents are gonna mind, but when I'm walking, especially at the parks, I am focused on walking, avoiding people left and right.
Avoiding bubbles.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next one. Avoiding the bubbles. That too. I don't want bubbles in my beignet. I don't want soap.
But you don't eat and walk. It's so fascinating to me. I couldn't imagine my life otherwise because I would just like I'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do anything in life if I have to sit down every time I'm eating something.
It's more so I think the standing and eating, and I don't eat and walk, and I don't eat in the dark.
Okay, well, who eats in the dark? Well, it's weird if people eat in the dark.
Uh,
Like in a dim room, like, "Oh, it's kinda dark in here," or like in pitch dark, are we talking? Like, what do you mean by dark?
like even if it's slightly like if there's not enough light, it bugs me, and I don't know why.
So if it's nighttime at the park, can you not eat?
I mean, there's lights around, so I can eat there. I'm not gonna go eat in an alley. It's pretty well lit.
Then why do you make it sound like eating in the dark is the same thing as, like, eating and standing?
Okay, like here, I'll give you the scenario. Like over by the Grizzly River Run, where it's not so well lit, would not be eating there.
It's dark.
It's dark. It's dark, dark. But in the other areas of the park that are actually well lit, I would go eat. I don't know what this stems from. It just I do not I have to see what I'm eating. Maybe that's what it is. I have to physically see what I'm eating so I know I'm not eating like a bug that landed on my beignet. Which if that ever happened, it would still taste hold on. It would still taste better than the great beignet.
Also, what kind of bug would land on your beignet?
Any bug that wants to enjoy a beignet.
Yeah, if you're sitting down, if you're walking or standing, rare that a bug's gonna be able to crawl on there.
Fly?
What kind of bug's gonna fly on there other than a fly? And if a fly's on there and you're moving it to your mouth, they're gonna fly away.
Fly, bees, well, I guess a wasp wouldn't really care. Butterfly, I don't know. Anyone with wings
Everything you named, you have any movement, they're gonna go all over.
and come right back.
We're gonna hear them. It's not gonna be like inconspicuous bug on your beignet as you take a bite.
I just need to know it's not there. And I'm never eating a beignet in a dark lit area. Disneyland, I would say, is a pretty every area, at least in Disneyland. Maybe now Galaxy Edge pretty lit up. I don't know how we got from beignets to my eating preference.
Because you eat beignets. How are you not following the line of this tangent, by the way?
Okay. Okay. So for the comments, let's hear it for the comments then is do they approve the sitting down and eating? Is this acceptable or am I crazy?
Part of me, I was about to say, I mean, I don't care if you like to sit down and eat, but then the other part was like, oh no, no, no. If we're at Disneyland, we're walking around having snacks. Like I'm not gonna sit down every time we're gonna eat something.
Strategically, I've made it so that you did not know that till just now.
Just so you know, it's like you could not have a snack. I'll have a snack and we'll walk around. I don't know that I could be doing anything at Disneyland without having a snack. And I think that's part of the problem. It's not like, oh, it's time for a snack. Let me go get a snack and sit down and eat something. It's more so like, what snack is next as I'm doing whatever else I'm doing. Because then otherwise I don't have enough time in the day to have all the snacks.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's the efficiency for you where like because you fly in, you know, you don't get to go basically every week like I could necessarily.
Which is probably a good thing because I'd probably still apply the same snacking methods and that might be very unhealthy. I'm like, I have to have these 5 snacks at a minimum and then whatever seasonal snacks exist.
I'm glad you let me go on my rant about the great beignet though. I mean that kind of took us for this whole topic. So today was specifically beignets. Yeah.
I don't think it was that bad. Also, like great beignets, Disneyland. Nobody likes great beignets. How are they still available? I mean, I'm sure people because so here's last thing about the great beignet. I think I get trying new things, but how are you gonna know if it's like it's not like oh my gosh, no one bought them. It's like if you're like oh let me try something new or I'm here for the first time, you're gonna try it. But a majority of those people who are gonna be trying it aren't going every day anyway, so you're not gonna know that it's not selling. You're not like a fast food restaurant who's like, let's introduce this new treat. And then you're like, okay, all of our customers aren't buying this because they tried it and they're like, no, so it's not selling. Like when you're at Disneyland, I don't think you have that same type of access to data unless like it's surveys only. When are people filling out surveys saying we don't like great beignets that are not you?
You caught me on that one. My Disneyland park survey specifically said no more great beignets.
How did I know that you filled out a
And you
survey to say don't have great beignets?
the best part was the topic wasn't even about like the food and services.
It was, what do you think about the Space Mountain line?
It was. I made sure to throw in the comments at the end, like a completely random.
It needs it needs to be painted, but not with great beignets.
Your cleanliness of the park was great, but I need to say this about the grape beignets on this survey.
But my point is, how do they know if a snack's working or not? Like, if you're doing a seasonal thing, and it's like, dude, Disney, we're telling you right now, Disneyland, don't bring back grape beignets. Candy cane beignets, please bring them back. The maple ones, great choice. Pumpkin spice, not my favorite, but not bad. Coming from a person who does not like pumpkin spice, they weren't bad. You did good, especially with the candy cane one. But no more grape beignets because why is that even a who tested that? Like, who tested that food and said, "I think we have something really good here."
That's a good point.
I wanna taste these just to know what they taste like. Like, I would buy a pack of 3 beignets just I'd only take a bite probably because it sounds disgusting, but I'm very curious on what they tasted like. Yes, I know Kool-Aid, just put some grape Kool-Aid on it, and that's what they taste like, I get it.
Like my only thought, and it doesn't make sense because it would have made more sense last year, was if they were going to do it for the Sentinel year because everything was purple and platinum, and if the idea they wanted to go with something purple because it did have a purple color to it.
There's other purple flavors. Ooh, lavender beignets, that would be good.
That I understand.
Uh, lavender beignets sound way better than grape beignets, let's be honest.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's options.
Oh, but if they had a lavender mint julep.
Yeah, I thought they had one. Okay. I thought that's the one you got
Maybe. I drink a lavender mint julep.
when we got the candy cane beignets that first time. I thought that's the one you had was a lavender mint julep because that sounds it's ringing the bell. That sounds delicious though.
Maybe. I've had different flavors. I probably did. I'm all about the mint julep. I will always try if they have a seasonal mint julep, I'll always try it because you can get the regular mint julep anytime. And then if I go again and I'm like, "Oh, I want a regular one." I'm gonna have the Huckleberry Finn mint julep because you order in person.
Huckleberry Finn. But that is a valid point though. Is like how do they collect the data? Like if this is truly just like the time of year because everything it's the slow season. So if they're testing it, how do they gather the data that it's not just magic keyhole?
Well, I'm sure there's access to that information pretty.
I might be able to find that one out.
If anyone knows the answer, send us a DM because we won't be able to sleep at night until we figure out how.
If you do have the answer to this, please let us know because that would be great to know. Because then I would totally exploit that and make sure nobody orders grape beignets.
But who tasted that and said, like, do they have a test group of like, okay, we're gonna have like 15 people taste this and see what they think, and if it's good, then we're gonna put it in. And also, how does that win? How does there's a million flavors you can do. How is grape is just a random everything else made sense. Maple makes sense. Pumpkin spice at Halloween time makes sense. Candy cane at Christmas time makes sense. You could even do gingerbread flavored ones at Christmas time. Also makes sense.
I am down for the ginger and I'm down for the maple. Keep going. Let's. Oh, that sounds so good. You know how I feel about gingerbread.
I feel like maybe one year they did do that. But they have the gingerbread cookies, so you don't need gingerbread beignet. Makes sense. Grape doesn't make any sense.
So let me throw this scenario out here. Like you are part of Disney research and development. You get 3 proposals for the next flavor of beignet. You get grape and 2 other flavors. What could have possibly been worse than grape that it didn't pass the taste test? That grape won out of 3 flavors.
I'm sure other things.
Let's like random flavor scenario here. Like pick 2. Like let's think 2 other flavors.
I'm bad at coming up with things. I'm good at acknowledging if something's a good idea or a bad idea. I'm not good at coming up with good ideas.
Lime beignet. That might be one.
Lime?
Citrus, like any citrusy lemon, like except maybe lemon. I would do maybe like a lemon zest one. That might lemon and or actually no, I would go with orange.
I feel like those are like lemon drop candies.
That would be fine. Yeah, because it would be like a lemon drop.
Citrus isn't bad if you do it right.
Yeah, better than grape.
Like it would be okay. It wouldn't be my favorite. I'm not a citrus flavored person, but I could see it being decent and good. But also still random, but better than grape. But who thinks grape in general?
I'm sure there's an audience out there.
Grape is like the least favorite. Like, well, actually, grape is not my least favorite flavor when it comes to a bag of Skittles.
Followed up with what is your least favorite Skittle flavor?
Orange and yellow. They're kind of tied.
So it's good for beignets, not for Skittles. What time of year is these maple?
So they had them during the Halloween season last year instead of pumpkin spice. Because like during the Halloween, I was expecting to see pumpkin spice ones, but they were like maple flavored ones. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So because I'm thinking like if it's Halloween fall time, yeah, maple's total good flavor. Pumpkin spice, as it like I'm
What would your summertime flavor be? Also, if you're going to test out grape, then it should be in the summer, not February.
like yeah, if you're gonna go fruity, go summertime.
Oh no! In February, you do like cinnamon flavored,
Ooh. Hmm.
like a cinnamon sugar Mickey beignet.
So it's almost a churro beignet then.
Tell me that doesn't sound amazing.
Cinnamon sugar, would that not be churro?
Don't say things like that. Don't say things like that.
Because I've recently had the churro popcorn.
Ew! What?
Yeah, it's not. I love churros. It does not taste. It just tastes like cinnamon sugar. It's not good.
Well, they just stop mixing everything for the sake of mixing everything.
Summertime, that lavender actually might be good for summertime.
Okay, but no one's gonna eat. No one's really gonna be like, "Ooh, lavender beignets." But I'd be like, but when I saw candy cane beignets, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, genius!" Okay, but or you could do like this, like the hot tamale cinnamon flavor, where it's like the crushed up like red hot.
That's perfect for the fall. So let me throw you a fall flavor because with the maple and all apple cider,
I mean, I could do with or without. I'm not an apple cider person.
apple cider, apple cinnamon. Because back home in the fall time, everything was maple, apple cider.
Yeah, you're also from the East Coast.
I know.
The temperature doesn't change where I live. I mean, it changes, but not like that.
Yeah. Well, now it doesn't change.
Like when it gets cold enough for me to be in like an apple cider type of like zone, it's already Christmas time, and I'm going for a hot chocolate. I'm going for a hot chocolate at that point.
February, I would say, would be like the chocolate for me because it's for those who like it, Valentine's Day time, big time of year for chocolates and all that.
I don't think you need. I honestly don't think you need tons of seasonal flavors. I think like they add so much to the parks at Halloween time and at Christmas time, and they have seasonal offerings because it's a like seasonal time. So that is a completely appropriate time to have seasonal flavored beignets or whatever other snack, seasonal churros, seasonal whatever during those times. I'm against the rest of the year if there's not like some special, like if they're celebrating whatever anniversary of whatever movie or what have you, and they have a special like celebratory snack or rendition to a snack like a churro, I'm totally okay with it. But why are there like always have to be 6, 7 different flavors of churros?
It's because the target audience for all the extra stuff is the magic key holders, especially the ones like who live in the Anaheim area who are going even more frequently than I do. All the extra stuff is to keep the magic key holders.
Listen, if you're a magic key holder and you're going all the time, you're not going. Your motivation for going isn't to buy a new snack. They're addicted to a different thing. If they're already addicted, if someone's already, this is what's so funny. If someone's already addicted to something, it doesn't matter if you introduce a new flavor or you don't introduce new. If I like going to get churros, I'm going to always go get churros. I'm not going to suddenly buy more churros because there's more options for churros. Are you going to disagree with me?
Kind of a little bit, but I'm also thinking my argument might not.
Every time I go to the park, I'm getting Dole Whip every single time. You don't need to give me 18 different flavors of Dole Whip so I don't stop buying Dole Whip.
It's not food. It's not food. People will specifically go make more reservations every time there's a new release of, let's say, like a popcorn a merch, for example, a new release of a popcorn bucket. So every time they release, hey, we're going to do a different flavor of beignet or a different flavor of what was it the other day? The macaroon. There was like a new flavor macaroon that they started selling everywhere. It's not a daily, but it'll get people to literally go out of the way after work and then go drive there and be like, I'm going to try out this seasonal thing because, it's the newest, greatest thing.
But the person who's doing that is already going. If they're not going today, they're going to go at some point when that's available anyway. So they might not be motivated for that. I'm talking about snacks. When you're talking merch, it's like if I don't go today, then it's not going to be there tomorrow.
So for the folks who don't normally come in the wintertime, the off season, okay, I'm going to offer all this different type of food.
Okay, well, if we're talking about that, yes. But I was talking about like the locals.
Right. And if they're going once a week, they're not like you or me who are going, maybe every other week or so, whenever you go. I know you're not going every other week now, but like for me, even me going every other week, I have a routine. Every time I go, I get not the same things, but I do get my beignet, I do get my Earl sandwich, get my Mickey premium bar. Like I have the keys, but there are literally folks in the Anaheim, the Orange County area that will literally just go after work and then go get something different and new every day. And that's at least my thought on their promotion of it is like, well, they're not going to want the same beignet every time we go. So if we release not even just a beignet, but whatever other food, if we release a new variation of this and try all sorts of crazy stuff, because I mean, especially the foods that they do there, like the macaroon, cherry lime, it's something, but it's a promotion for the locals to keep coming back. Yeah,
Yeah, but sometimes they have too many offerings at one time is my problem. Is more my problem than like, okay, we have the regular churro and like, oh, now we're gonna have this purple and gold churro for whatever reason.
I agree with it, especially when we talk about churros. Like, I'll get on that too. Like, there is definitely too much variation, and it's kind of my thought. Like in the restaurant industry, most of the restaurants you see that succeed stick to what they're good at and what they like. We'll take In and Out for example.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say In and Out. That's why it's my favorite restaurant because there's 3 options and it's only a variation of the same thing.
Exactly. Like for me, when I go out and eat, if I see a restaurant that has 50 to 60 items and pages of menu items, usually it means the quality of the food is going to be lower because they have to keep that much more for all that variation that they have. Like, I'm not a big, I'll say, Cheesecake Factory fan.
It also negatively maybe that's what they're doing because you know that also negatively influences your willpower and your decision making is when you have to make choices and decisions. And so maybe that's what they're doing, so you have, like, low inhibition, and then you just buy all the merch when you know you shouldn't be buying all the merch.
And that's where I'm agreeing with you. When there's too many options and throwing so much stuff out there, it kind of dilutes how good the product could actually be. Like, the classic beignet is going to be good. When you start throwing all this other crazy stuff out there, you're going to have hits and misses. And it's happening a lot more, I think.
The idea of, like, you're in it to make profit, not to do what you're setting out to do, which I mean, you have to make a profit, but at the end of the day, is your main core value to create an experience now keeping in mind that you still gotta make a profit, or is everything you're doing being led by, "How can we make more money?" 'Cause that's when you end up with things like grape flavored beignets, in my opinion. There's no other explanation for me, other than we need a new flavor, we need to test something out because we wanna sell more beignets or we wanna make more money. I cannot see that there is a creative value component of, it'd be really great is if we had great beignets for whatever reason, or let's be innovative or whatever, because let's bring some more joy and magic to some of our snacks. And maybe this is a cool way to do it. I don't see how that was the conversation to come up with great beignets. Maybe with candy cane beignets for sure, but no way great beignets. Other than what's something we can try that's new and different to sell more beignets. That's my rant on great beignets.
Yeah. Yeah, because with candy cane beignets, you're doing it specifically for that time of year. Like, it has a purpose to it, not just for let's just try a new flavor. With grape, you're just throwing it out.
Should I should I Google search why they have great beignets this time of year?
If that actually comes up with a Google search, that'd be awesome.
Hey, Walt Disney World seasonal Mickey-shaped grape beignets offer nostalgic flavor at Disneyland Resort. Nostalgic flavor?
What nostalgia? Did I miss the nostalgia of the grape? Is this a tale as old as time?
First of all, they do not look appetizing, just saying.
They were not. Ugh.
They were using the 1980s grape candy flavor. This is what the article says, okay? No joke. It comes off as slightly medicinal, but that can come across as nostalgic for those who grew up with such flavors of sweet.
That's grape Dimetap. When you get cold, you get grape Dimetap. That's exactly what it tasted like. There's my nostalgia.
That's why they did this? Oh, I don't know that that's why they did it, but whoever's writing this article is saying that, "Oh, it's grape flavor is nostalgia, not in a good way, not like bubblegum medicine is nostalgia. No, thank you."
Are you a millennial that likes beignets and you want to remind yourself of what grape Dimetapp tastes like? Try the grape beignet.
Someone wrote an article "These new Disney snacks are going to be controversial. As for the beignets, our experience is totally different." The article says it's supposed to be a review, but it's not really a real review. It's just saying, "Oh, yeah, this is what they're selling there now, and it can be nostalgic because it's based off the 1980s grape flavor."
Go get the beignets, not the grape.
Do you think it's a Mardi Gras thing? Is the purple?
Mmm, that is possible.
Because I was reading something that said, "Oh, you can also get Mardi Gras sauce with them."
I mean, there was no sauce.
Someone posted very positive review of grape. They must have loved grape flavored candy and grape Kool-Aid. This is I'm gonna stop looking at this. It's gonna make me angry. This is disgusting. Grape flavored beignets.
For those who kept grape Kool-Aid flavor in business, if you want a grape beignet, I'd hurry up.
No offense to your flavor palette, anybody, but grape flavored beignets should never have been a thing. I haven't tasted them, but I'm telling you right now, don't think they'll be good. But Ryan has, doesn't think they're good.
No, no.
Like more than doesn't think they're good.
I need to tell the people of whoever listens not to get grape beignets.
Did you get it all out?
Oh, I was so frustrated. I'm calm now. Me and Stitch here, we've mellowed out.
I was so excited, and then he said, "No, there's a specific one," and I said, "I could talk for an entire episode on beignets."
We did, especially now that like the whole grape Dimetapp thing, like it makes sense.
Who wants to have nostalgia over their medicine, like, while they're at Disney? Like, listen, I get it, you wanna bring the nostalgia back at Disneyland, but grape flavored is not the way to do it.
The guy who invented grape flavored beignets wants that nostalgia.
Anyone who invented grape flavor shouldn't have invented it. Grape flavor is not a highly coveted flavor.
I will look to see if one of the shareholders on the board in the annual report had some ownership of the Kool-Aid company to see if they actually had some involvement in it. It's like, okay, so there's the influence. It's the guy who formerly owned Kool-Aid is sitting on the Disney board, and he's like, grape flavored. Let's go.
We have all this supply of grape flavored Kool-Aid that's probably expired. Do you wanna use it in your beignet powder?
We're cutting costs. We've hit some tanks in the movies lately, so how do we cut costs? I know. They got the straw clips though that will dissolve
And we're not bringing back plastic straws anytime soon, so
dissolve the paper. You've seen this? It's the Stitch. I haven't found where it is. It's a Stitch straw clip. I don't know what a straw clip even is for.
oh, like, yeah, they sell this straw clips at Disney. Yeah, they always have different seasonal straw clips.
But what is a straw? I didn't even know what a straw clip was until I saw this. What is the point of it? Just a decoration?
Yeah, they like it decorates your straw.
No. But if they have paper straws, that straw clip is just going to dissolve right off the straw.
We're not gonna get started on that's a whole episode as well.
Bring your own straws.
I do.
No, I know you do. I'm telling them to bring them.
We can tell them again on our whole episode dedicated to straws at Disneyland.
This is where I'm going to say it. Bring it the straw to have with your mint julep that you get when you get your beignets and your mint julep.
I don't drink my mint julep out of a straw.
You just take the lid off and drink it. I'm not going to. Oh, it's going to reveal another quirk of mine because I can't do that.
Are you afraid you're gonna spill it all over?
No. I do not like the texture. Like if it's got ice in it, I can't do it. I have to have a straw because I don't like the texture of like the ice on your upper lip. Yep. So like if I'm drinking something and I can feel the ice cubes on my lip.
I think on our next snack episode, it's what are all Ryan's quirks about eating and drinking?
The whole point of this podcast was not to reveal all my quirks, but it's somehow coming out now.
You're doing it to yourself, dude. Okay, all right. Well, I think we should wrap up our beignet episode. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about beignets, don't forget to DM us. And if you have any other topic ideas or anything you'd like to hear us talk about, be sure to send us a message. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a fresh episode. And follow us on our Instagram at Magic Key Chats. And again, you can DM us on our Instagram with any topic suggestions or if you want to join in on the conversation. And also feel free to DM us there on the Instagram or send us an email at magickeychats@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us on Magic Key Chats. Until next time, may all your dreams come true.